Welcome to the WDW Reflections Podcast. Here, we'd love to talk about the Walt Disney World Resort, the way we remember it, how it's changed, and why we still enjoy visiting the most magical place on Earth. So come with us on a podcast journey as we reflect on the WDW Reflections Podcast. All right, so let's scoot on over to the next segment. This is what we like to call What's Happening Now in Walt Disney World. And this week, some exciting stuff happened because on Saturday, the 14th of January, Walt Disney World opened the 2022 Festival of the Arts over at Epcot. This celebration, which runs from January 14th all the way through February 21st, features something for the entire family. The celebration features many of the staples that Epcot celebrations have become known for, and that's food, music, and merchandise. Booths are set up all around the World Showcase Lagoon, featuring what Disney calls, and this is a quote from the Disney World site, irresistible bites and sips, captivating entertainment, and visual arts featuring exceptional talent that proves the power of imagination. So this year, the live entertainment features the Disney on Broadway series, which will present sensational songs from award-winning Disney on Broadway musicals. Also, in conjunction with the celebration, Disney debuted a brand new Points of Light show on Spaceship Earth. The new show features the classic Muppet song, The Rainbow Connection, along with stunning new rainbow lighting effects. So, fellas, a couple of questions. One, have you ever been to one of the Festival of the Arts celebrations? And I'd like to talk about that for a second or two. And then let's talk about some of the craziness we've seen that's been happening just in the last couple of days at this year's Festival of the Arts celebration. So let's talk about that real quick. So guys, have you guys ever been to a Festival of the Arts?
I've not had the opportunity to go to a Festival of the Arts.
I haven't either. I'm not sure when it started, but I don't remember it ever being in place when I've ever been to Disney World.
I'm not real sure when it started either. I've been to it a couple of times. It's actually really cool. Kind of like what they say there, what I just read is that the celebration features many of the staples of Epcot celebrations, and it kind of does. It doesn't look a whole lot different than if you go to the wine festival and some of those others. And you've got all the food booths around World Showcase, so you can try food from different countries and stuff. It looks kind of like that, but a lot of the booths have arts and crafts and things like that. So there's a lot of artists featured where you can get really anything you can imagine that is Disney art is there. I mean, paintings and sculptures and, knickknacks, there's all kinds of stuff, and it's all somehow related to Disney art. And what's really cool is many of the artists or the artisans that create that stuff are there on site. And so if you get a painting or if you get a print or something, they'll sign it for you and you get to meet the artist and everything. So that's really cool. I've enjoyed doing that. And then a lot of the food is somehow art themed. So like I've seen a cookie, like a chocolate chip cookie that was shaped like a painter's palette, and it's got icing, little drips of icing that looks like paint, so it's really well themed. Disney does a great job with their theming and stuff. But I've been to the Festival of Arts a couple of times and always really enjoyed it. I mean, gosh, Epcot's my favorite. So I love being around Epcot and stuff. And, the food's great. And it's really neat being able to mingle with the artists and look at their stuff and everything. It's always been a lot of fun.
So is there art that's priced at every price range, or is it pretty much out of?
No, it's you can get just little trinkets and small stuff. I've seen like little Disney figurines that might be the size of like a chapstick or something, sure. Just a couple 2 inches or so, all the way up to thousands of dollars for these legit oil paintings and stuff. I mean, just the whole spectrum.
How do you get that out of the park, I wonder?
Well, they'll ship it for you.
Just teasing. I'm just imagining someone walking around with that.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, some of them are gigantic, like, window size, but we've bought a couple of prints of really nice ones. I know my son got one a few years ago, and the artist was there. So it was kind of cool. He's a Star Wars fan like I am and always liked Boba Fett. So he got a Boba Fett print, and the artist was there. So it was signed, by the artist and everything. And I think it was personalized. I actually think it says my son's name on it and everything. But
let me ask though, I remember there used to be a store, I believe it was in Disney Village, that used to have the art prints. And I think, did that go away and was that replaced by this?
No, it's still there. It's right over by Rainforest Cafe, and it's the Art of Disney. That store is still there, and it's very similar to that. The kind of things that you see in the Art of Disney is the kind of stuff that you'll see at the Festival of the Arts. But it's, like I said, much bigger, and you walk around the World Showcase, and it's kind of set up so they kind of have it themed to the countries also. So, if it's got a Mexican flair to it, it'll be at the Mexico Pavilion, those kind of things. So it's really neat. But
I noticed too, there was sort of an interactive thing with this as well, right? Where you get to paint on some wall or color in a few things.
They do. They've had murals and stuff like that. They've done different things. Obviously they try to make it new and interesting from year to year. So they do some stuff. I think I saw something where there was like a something with Figment, so you could paint Figment or something. It changes every year, but it's really neat.
I also noticed, speaking of Figment, I saw that there was a big hullabaloo this week with regard to a new popcorn bucket that was available.
Yeah, look, call me crazy, but I thought a popcorn bucket was just a receptacle that would hold, fluffy popcorn.
And you toss it away after you're done.
I still have a couple of old, old popcorn buckets that like will hold pens or something. You know what I mean? But,
yeah.
But normally, I just throw them in the recycle because, it's plastic, But apparently this Figment, it's the popcorn. Oh, in the last year or so, Disney has kind of gone crazy with maybe more than just
making more of that.
But, yeah. I remember a couple of years ago, they had a gigantic one. It was about the size of a microwave oven. It was like a TIE fighter.
Yeah. Or the Millennium Falcon they had.
Yeah. I mean, it's crazy. I'm not joking. When I say the size of a microwave, I'm not exaggerating. It was literally like this big, like the size of a microwave oven. And I think it held like 10 ounces of popcorn, but it was a gigantic thing, but it barely held any popcorn. It's just this really big spaceship. So yeah, they on Saturday,
and you strap it around your neck and you walk around all hunched over.
And then when you get to the car at the end of the day, you need a chiropractor for carrying around this gigantic popcorn bucket. But yes, so on Saturday, the 14th, with the opening of the Festival of Arts for 2022, they released this. And I mean, look, I love it because I love Figment. Figment is a throwback to original Epcot, so I'm a fan. But I saw that some people waited like 7.5 hours for this bucket. And look, I don't think there's anything on this planet I would wait 7.5 hours for. I can't think of anything that I would wait in a line. Anyway. Yeah. No, I cannot think of a single thing I would wait in a line for 7.5 hours.
Were they giving them away or did
no?
I didn't. I mean,
Ron, you're so funny.
Well, that's the only thing I could conclude when I saw 6-hour lines, 7-hour lines. I'm like, Disney is giving away something for the first time.
No, they are. They're giving away the chance for someone to spend $30.
Ron, let me tell you, if Disney could figure out a way to charge you for oxygen while in the parks, they would do it. Absolutely. They are not giving away anything.
Although I did see the consolation prize. If you didn't get a bucket, you could get a little spork for $2.99. That was shaped like
yeah. They like, sorry about that 7-hour wait. We're out of buckets, but here's a purple spork.
Tell me you're kidding.
No. Oh no.
So you're telling me they didn't even cut the line off when they realized that people were?
I don't know what happened with that because I heard them say that it was sold out in 15 minutes. But were those people waiting in line for 7 hours before those 15 minutes, or did they have more during the course of the day?
I don't know. I know that they waited in line for 7 hours or whatever. And
there's a great video. I think it's WDW News Today who has a video of this line that just keeps going on and on.
It just goes forever. Yeah. It's crazy. We saw those lines when we were there in March because they were doing social distancing.
Oh,
so okay. The lines would just wrap around the park, even though it was
Either that or they were complaining
line
for
sometimes
not being able to
be
get on
just
Rise
as
of
long,
Resistance.
like an hour long line regular.
Yeah, it's like a half-hour line, but it went for 300 yards because
Right.
people were 6 feet apart.
Well, remember
Yeah.
when Trisha was here, she mentioned that there was a similar thing for the other popcorn buckets that was celebrating the 50th anniversary.
The
And those
50th.
were
Yes.
just balloons shaped like Mickey heads. right?
Correct. Yep. It was like the Mickey balloons, but it was a popcorn bucket shaped that way.
I mean, this is very cute, but what really are you going to do with that after waiting all this time?
Well, did you see that there were people like in line for that bucket? They're waiting to get their bucket and they already had them listed on eBay.
Oh no.
Yes. For, get this, $200.
See, that's wrong.
$200. So
there you go.
Yeah, that's what it is. That's the people. That's why they're waiting in line. They're trying to make a buck. So yeah, that's a little sad. That's not really that's not in the Disney spirit, if you ask me.
Wouldn't you hate to be the last person in line who gets there? Like,
sorry. It's like
you can go to eBay and
it's
get
like
one. I think the guy in front of you is selling his for $200.
Yeah,
yes,
exactly.
absolutely. You can go bid.
Either that or go stand in line at customer service and complain to them.
It's like that's that Marty Moose. You guys seen Christmas, or not Christmas Vacation, but the Europe? Nah, it's not. National Lampoon's Vacation is like the moose out front should have told you, folks. We're out of pigment buckets. Oh man, so yeah, that was crazy. But Festival of the Arts, aside from having to buy your Figment popcorn bucket on eBay for $200, besides that, Festival of the Arts is a really cool thing. If you've been to the Food and Wine, then it's similar to that, but it's kind of focused on art. So lots of good food.
Speaking of that, you just reminded me that I'm looking here at some of the offerings. The Disney on Broadway concert series. I just want to say, I know I've been privileged enough because I live in New York City to have seen all the Disney on Broadway shows, but you guys are not being shortchanged. The actors the performers who they're bringing on there are the actual people who perform those roles on Broadway.
Wow.
I'm familiar with who they're bringing there. All of there's the guy who played Tarzan, the woman who played Mary Poppins, and so on and so forth. They've got the actual people who were on Broadway in those series.
That's legit. I just figured it was Disney World entertainers singing Broadway songs. That's interesting. That's pretty impressive.
I read that as well, Tony, that they were bringing the original cast.
Mm-hmm.
Or no, maybe not the original, but people that had definitely played.
Actually, people have been there. Yeah, like the genie is the genie who was on Broadway, things like that.
I saw the Aladdin show on Broadway, and that guy that played Genie was
he was great.
Fantastic.
He was
really
good.
And the guy that played Jafar when I saw it on Broadway was the actual voice of the animated Jafar. So that was amazing.
That was cool.
Wow, you know what? And I don't know. We saw it last February, and I don't know if that was the case or not.
Yes, he was still there.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. It's probably been 4 or 5 years since I saw it, but it was, I mean, the voice actor that did Jafar on the actual animated feature was the actor that played Jafar on Broadway. So that was super
I'm
cool.
looking here at the schedule. Ariel Jacobs and Adam Jacobs, they're brother and sister, and they played different times, but they were both in Aladdin as Aladdin and Jasmine. Carrie Butler was in Beauty and the Beast. Terry Long was in Aladdin, and I saw him in other things on Broadway. Heidi Bickenstaff was in Little Mermaid. I saw all of these people. So these are real performers.
Definitely. Like I said, I've been to Festival of the Arts. It's very similar to Food and Wine and all those other really cool celebrations they do at Epcot. So if you're an artsy kind of folks and you want to go check that out, I would highly recommend it. Lots of good stuff. I want to see the Rainbow Connection. I want to see the Points of Light shows on Spaceship Earth. I haven't seen it in person. Looks absolutely amazing on YouTube and all that kind of stuff. So
yeah, I was shocked to see that as well. I'm surprised you even watched it, Dewey. Normally you want to see stuff in person.
Well, because the stuff that I know is limited that I may not get to go see, I'll watch it. Because
I had the impression that was a new staple.
I don't know. I think it's part of the Festival of the Arts.
Got it.
So now I will say I didn't watch the whole show. I just watched about a 15-second snippet so I could hear the music and I could see the rainbow lights on the Spaceship Earth, but I didn't watch the whole show. But you're right. If there's things like Rise of Resistance, I have not watched a video of that because I want to be surprised.
Sure.
But
I was trying to place I think Trisha had mentioned this when she was on, that the show lasts for a few minutes at a few minute intervals. Is that how they run
Yes.
it?
Basically, the lights are on the whole night. They stay on and they do cool effects and stuff. But then and I don't know the interval, but every whatever minutes, it'll kind of like remember when Fountain of Nations in the center of Epcot used to, like, it always, was a fountain, but then every hour or whatever, it would start shooting and do a show and new music. That's kind of the
Osborne Lights did that as well.
Yes.
They would start dancing.
That's right.
They would just be on any other
That's
time.
right. Exactly that. So that's what Spaceship Earth is. It's always on and it's doing cool things, but every few minutes it'll, you'll hear this rise, this crescendo music, and the lights will start doing something special.
How do they get people out of the parks? I'm sure everyone keeps turning back around.
I think the lights say time to go.
Oh, okay.
They make you get out. It's like, time to go.
Get out.